Hey there, followers. It's your favorite lovable Canadian gaming streamer, the Archangel Zarael, as you know me on Twitch, and on YouTube I'm Hysteria Master 78, as you can see down below, or Hysteria Skull on Twitter. And right down below is the lovable character that you've grown to know and love. Typically I don't do these kind of videos, discussions and stuff, political stuff, but a lot of people as of late have been saying that I should do it. So, you know, what the hell. And I was going to get drunk before I did this because, let's face it, no one wants to be sober when they talk politics. Lately, my views and whatnot have come into question regarding transgenders. Yes. I usually go on long rants about how gender dysphoria is not really a cool social norm, and that you should probably get evaluated and stuff if you feel that you are a woman trapped in a man's body. But lately I feel as if my views are changing. One or two of my friends has accused me of being a flip-flopper on my views, where it kind of irritates me, but I don't really say anything. Well, if you watch this video now, it'll certainly come up. But oh man, I'm sorry about the awkward silences. Lately I started watching this YouTuber, Blair White, and I think, oh, finally a woman, because I know a lot of you are aware of my views and how I typically don't. I know that I've got a pimple right there, and I'm really self-conscious about it. I should have gotten some concealer or something. I typically don't really watch a lot of female YouTubers unless they're gamers, because some female gamers are pretty alright. I typically, when it comes to anything to do with women and politics or whatnot, I typically avoid that, especially when it comes to transgenderism. But she made some pretty valid points, so I started watching and stuff, and the more I watched, the more and more I heard her talk about how she was a transgender and she was originally male, and I was actually rather surprised, because typically when I've heard transgenders talk, like a majority, a good 75 to 80% of them usually just kind of talk out of their ass and don't really convey solid points. And I think, for me, it's really hard to discuss certain things, like, I guess, my own sexuality and stuff, and my own preferences and stuff. And, I mean, one or two of my friends make me feel really awkward about my preferences, but I usually just kind of keep my mouth shut and don't say anything, because I feel as if it's better that way, which is ironic for me, because I'm usually very blunt. I am, like I said, I'm a Canadian streamer, 25 years old. I just recently turned 25 2 days ago. I feel as if that my views and whatnot have left me alone. I have a Tumblr blog as well, known as the Archangel Zarael. I am strongly anti-feminist. I do believe in giving people respect if they give me respect, and kind of letting people do their own thing, so long as they're not bothering other people about it. They're not like just constantly harassing them and saying, oh, well, I need to try and pressure people into believing in my stuff. That's where I tend to form a lot of strong anti-feminist views and stuff, and I'm anti-Black Lives Matter, and I know that saying that's going to get me a lot of shit on my videos and stuff. I recently heard about Onision and stuff, and how he's a piece of scum and stuff who is getting pictures off of minors and all that when I was watching Blair White's video. Blair, if you're watching, hi. And I have a small crush on you. I typically don't say that because, which is ironic for me because I'm bi. When I am a Trump supporter. I was a Trump supporter for a long time, and my friends kind of teased me about that and gave me a little bit of a hard time about that, and I kind of stuck to my moral compass, and I kind of explained why. And I know that some of my views come off as extreme, and I'm usually a very blunt, straightforward kind of person and stuff, but recently I've been trying to dial it back a bit and stuff because I want to be able to have civil conversations with certain YouTubers and whatnot and certain political parties about breaking into passionate, aggressive, like almost borderline violent conversation. And I feel like if I keep going in the direction that I'm going, that I can't do that. So, we're at like almost 7 minutes of video here. I typically don't do this. I usually don't tell people my sexual orientation and whatnot because I feel as if my sexual orientation is none of people's business, and I don't feel it should be. But it seems in the ever-changing terrain of YouTube and stuff, and how everyone gets offended if you say the single word the wrong way, or if you don't use someone's preferred pronouns. It feels like it's appropriate to just kind of speak up. The last couple of years, I've just been out here on my own. I've just been kind of bitter. Because it feels like the only friend I have out here is one person and stuff, and I kind of feel like I'm alone and stuff. And I mean, some of it, like, a good, 48% is me. I'm willing to say that, at least. Maybe I'm too aggressive or whatever. A lot of my friends said that I'm pretty passionate about this stuff, so I should get into it. And I've been kind of hesitant when it comes to the political side of actually expressing my views and whatnot, and kind of testing the waters when it comes to political stuff. But lately I've just been figuring what the hell. I mean, a lot of other people are doing it, so why not jump off that bridge too? I mean, when you have crippling depression, there's nothing better than to jump off the bridge, right? I think I kind of felt like I needed to address certain things, certain political stuff, certain gender-specific stuff. There's a lot of contradiction when it comes to the modern feminist movement, I suppose. I know that I'm seeming jumbled here and I'm talking about multiple stuff at once, and it's kind of confusing people, and I apologize for that. As you can see, I've got this super dope mic. Yep. Crazy good. I don't know, I get really mad and stuff when I hear feminists talk about how, like, men can't be raped and men can't be the victims of sexual assault and stuff, and then, like, I hear other guys kind of, like, make fun of that and stuff when I myself was molested when I was 6 years old by a woman that lived down the road from us in our neighborhood, and I was in Cornwall, Prince Edward Island, in Canada. And for those of you who aren't aware, where that is. It's one of the island provinces on the eastern part of Canada and the eastern coast. And usually people are really nice there. They're really humble and stuff. They're humble as apple pie. They kind of mind their business and whatnot. But I believe this woman took it upon herself to violate me. And then I was raised by an alcoholic mother who, in the last couple of years, I'll admit, has kind of improved in her attitude towards me and stuff. My father was not in the picture when I was younger. I don't even know why I'm talking about this stuff. Typically, I don't. I have Asperger's syndrome, and I know that probably a lot of people on 4chan are going to see this somewhere, and they're going to kind of make fun of that, but whatever, it's already too late now. And I felt like I would start doing these videos and whatnot. I suffer from depression as well. I'm very, I have very hardcore suicidal ideations. I've had suicidal ideations since I was 6, and from what happened to me, I tend to write a lot. It's very therapeutic. I write short stories, and I write I finished my own little small novel a while ago, and I'm working on a second one, and I'm almost completed it, although writer's block. I was going to make this a drunk Q&A, but then I realized I don't really want to get drunk for this. This is kind of something that comes from the heart, and I'm just really, I wanted to be down to earth, and I wanted to seem very sincere about it, which I am. I don't take medication for my depression and stuff because I can't concentrate when I'm on the meds. I can't at all. I used to take Ritalin as a child, but all it ended up doing was making me more depressed. And I just know that from the time I was 6 up, I believed that I didn't deserve to live, that I didn't, how do I say this? I believed that my life was forfeit and that I should have the right to die. And I attempted to kill myself when I was 15, and I hung myself out in the woods. And at first the rope didn't snap and I was dead, but then I woke up on the ground. Don't remember how long I'd been out, and the rope was broken. So, yeah, I guess if I was more of the religious type, I would say that my life was spared by some divine deity or whatever. When it comes to these things, I have a really hard time explaining, and you notice that I don't really make eye contact when I'm looking at the screen and stuff, and it's part of my condition. I don't tend to keep focus for too long on something because I don't it's weird, the thing about staring people in the face and stuff, and when I look them in the eyes I can see their pain and stuff, and it just it hurts me. I know that people are going to watch this and they're completely going to misconstrue what I say and stuff. I do plan to do more of these videos. I feel like sometimes when I open my mouth or whatever, whenever I talk and stuff, it feels like I'm not taken seriously. It feels like sometimes like my family doesn't take me seriously, and it feels like I have to break down mentally before I get any sort of response from them whatsoever. Or I have to freak out and be the bad guy, and it's I I don't know how else to say it. I know you probably noticed that for those of you who tune into my stream, that I'm using my PC stream thing. So yeah. Um, I would like to apologize for the people who feel as if they've been offended in this video, but this is how I strongly feel. Um, I get upset because it feels like if I ever want to hear from my father's side of the family, like my siblings, my dad himself, or whatever, it feels like I have to make the first step and call or whatever. Um, Whenever I try and make plans with people, they never respond to me, and I'm one of those guys where it's like I like when I don't get responded to, I hate it because it's like I feel like people can just say, like, they should be able to say straight up yes or no, like if they are still interested in talking to me or whatever, and it never seems like they are. And I get really angry and stuff, and it's just, I don't know. It feels like a lot of the good people in my life, the ones that I've actually held a lot of respect for and admiration and stuff, like a lot of them have either died or God knows what, they've just left and never responded again and stuff, and it's just, it feels like, to me, it feels like I break everything I touch. And I know this is longer than I planned for it to be, but I also wanted to talk about, I think the reason that I have such an issue with transgendered people, I think, or at least why I had more of a violent issue before in my earlier years, was I had a mild case of gender dysphoria where I believed that I should have been a woman. When I was like 15, 16, I kept thinking that I should be a woman and stuff, and it messed with me, and I didn't really follow on it because when I told people in confidence, they kind of never spoke to me again, and it kind of devastated me. And I know the irony of me saying that when I've always believed that you're either born a man or born a woman, and then you choose later on and stuff. And I kind of, to this day, agree with a lot of the activists who say that children should be they shouldn't be allowed to begin their transition under the age of 18, because it's like you don't know, for when you're a child, you don't really have the proper mental capacity to judge whether or not you want to stay that way for the rest of your life, because it has very serious impacts and stuff. You end up becoming sterile, like you can never procreate. I mean, if I was going to do it, I mean, if, like, for some reason down the road I got the feelings again or whatever, if I was going to do it, I would go to a sperm bank before I did it and stuff, and I would deposit a lot of sperm so that at least my seed could be carried on to the next generation, which, you know, is actually kind of smart. I get uncomfortable in tense situations, and I tend to use a lot of sarcasm, and sarcasm comes naturally to me from both sides of my family. I harbor a lot of feelings of bitterness towards my siblings and stuff, and towards my father, because it feels as if he bailed on me when I was about 3 years old. Like, he tells me that it was the other way around, but it just seems kind of sketchy the way he says it, and it feels like he said he wasn't strong enough for me, and it feels like he was strong enough, but just not for me, for my siblings. And I've always had this, like, mild bitterness towards them, and it's not like I hate my siblings. It's just I feel like they got the childhood that I never got. They got to have dad around. Like, we have the same dad, just different moms. And they got dad, and I only got him for 4 years, and then that was pretty much it. Yeah, I'll do more of these videos, I suppose. I know a lot of you probably already know this stuff. Yeah, I'm sorry. I've kept this going way too long. I'll do another one of these videos soon. Maybe I'll do that drunk Q&A at some point in the near future. Maybe tonight. For those of you who still tune into my stream on Twitch, it's Archangel Zarael. For those of you who actually still watch my videos on YouTube, if you look below, it's Hysteria Master 78. For those of you who like to catch my quirky anecdotes on Twitter, it is Hysteria Skull, or at Hysteria Skull, down below on the right. And in the middle, you'll see a smart-ass anime pic of me that during my roleplay days years back, one of my friends made for me because she thought that I I needed it, and I still respect that. And there's actually more to it. I just kind of shortened it so it was more of my guy. If she's watching, thank you. That's pretty much it. Yeah, Archangel out. I'll see you lovely followers again soon. Peace.